So one of the questions that we're getting most from our clients is, should I wait to buy a home or should I buy a home now? Right? So we never tell someone yes or no. Like, everything is very nuanced. It's every situation is different, but these are things that you need to kind of think about, right? So what's the alternative? So if you stay in your current place right now, is it functionally going to fit you and your family? If you're currently renting, you're probably paying an exorbitant amount of rent. So you continue to pay someone else's mortgage, because you actually are paying someone's mortgage if you're renting a property. But we've got a situation where someone's living with family and they can save and stack money. And in that situation, it might be good for them not to buy a home right now, right? So just things for you to think about along those lines. Next question is, do you plan on owning this property for a long period of time, right? They always say you marry the house, you date the rate. You can always buy now and refinance later, right? The second question is, can you afford to move, right? Looking at the numbers, we know that rates are a little bit higher, but if you can afford to move, you can afford to move. And then also, I'm having conversations with people who are in higher tax brackets. They're making higher income and they need the write-offs, right? Every year they don't have a write-off, they might as well have purchased a home, right? So it's something to kind of think about when you're thinking about long-term. Don't just think short-term, all right? The next thing is, how long are you going to wait? So this is going to be sensitive, and there may be some clients that we know that this speaks to you, because this might be about you. We've had some clients that were thinking about buying in 2020, and they were waiting because the market was too aggressive. It was too competitive. And they waited and waited and waited, and now rates are up, and now they're waiting because rates are up. And now some people are waiting because they think prices are going to go down. Well, that was like 3 years of waiting, right? How much longer are you going to wait, right? No one has a crystal ball. You move when your economics are ready. And for many people, your economics are different than the world's economics. So you need to look at where you are and what you need to do first. All right. Last but not least, some people just don't need to buy a home, right? And some people do need to buy a home. Some people will never buy a home. Give yourself the space and grace. If you fall into one of those categories, don't fool yourself. You know whether you need to buy a home or not, right? You know whether you don't need to buy a home or not. Use your intuition here when it comes down to these types of situations. And then the last thing I want you to think about, I know I said the last thing was the last thing, but there are a lot of people who are buying a primary residence who are thinking that they're investors. The home that I move into with my family is a very different thought process than the home that I'm buying as an investment property. And those things need to be separate when you're making those decisions. Those things are not the same, right? So if you're thinking about buying a home and you have some questions that you need to unpack, you can schedule a 15-minute consultation, no obligation consultation. If at the end of the consultation we think that you should buy a home, we're gonna tell you. If at the end of the consultation we think that you shouldn't buy a home, we're gonna tell you. If it's somewhere in between, we're gonna tell you, right? But I think there's so many people out there that just need to have an honest conversation with someone, and we are here for that. All right. So you have the dream, we have the address. Alan Johnson with the AJ team. We'll see you soon.